Hi everybody, I'd like to welcome everybody to the official final press conference for the terrific boxing World Championship Boxing on Saturday night from the Home Depot Center. Actually, it's one of those, you know, today you wake up and you go out in LA weather and it's just gorgeous, and just to be under the stars on that night. And I know that both Ruslan and Tim are really looking forward to an incredible venue. One of the exciting things about being in the prize fight business is actually seeing these shows come together and how things happen. And this event couldn't have happened without the incredible support of the California Athletic Commission, who has been terrific in, you know, putting on regular events here. And obviously, you know, the premier network that has supported boxing on an ongoing basis from the early 70s and has really established an incredible brand with the product. Their support, HBO, creating 24/7, creating incredible two-day programs following the fighters, has really anchored the success of our product, and we should all be very thankful. And here on behalf of HBO is Peter Nelson. So I'd like to introduce Peter.
Thank you, Todd, and among the thank yous that Todd mentioned, one should certainly go to Top Rank, who have been instrumental in helping putting this show together and a number of upcoming shows that we're incredibly excited about. They wouldn't have been possible. They also wouldn't have been possible with the help of Cameron Duncan, Tim Bradley's manager, who you see up here today. It wouldn't have been possible without the Bradley camp. It's all too rare that you see fighters who send into the pay-per-view sphere and then also reward the fans and reward the network by showing back up on main channel HBO so that people can see them for free. And Tim Bradley is a great case of a fighter with a Hall of Fame career that he's building and crafting already, who we're going to get to see live on HBO. We couldn't be more excited in the building about it. I also want to thank the press. I've been reading a lot of the articles that you have been doing over the past few weeks, and one of the great things that I've noticed is being able to see the interviews with Tim, especially. He's one of the most articulate fighters in the sport, and listening to how he talks about the narrative of his career is something that I find particularly engaging as a former journalist myself. He's a great ambassador to the sport. You've always seen him fight the best. The way he comports himself in and out of the ring is something that I admire personally. And for this fight, the drug testing that they've engaged in marks a great emblem to the rest of the sport of how to behave yourself both in and out of the ring. And it's something that I'm incredibly humbled that we get to have a fight like this on the network. It takes two to tango, and Provodnikov represents a formidable challenge. This is a fight that we've been excited for since the minute it got made. For those of you who see Ruslan Provodnikov showing up here out of nowhere, it isn't out of nowhere at all. Ruslan's promoter, who also deserves a shout out here, Artie Palulo, he and I have been talking about Ruslan's career for a long time now. He's a fighter that we've all been fans of. Those of you here, big fight fans, have certainly seen him in the ring and in shows on other networks. He's an all-action fighter. Also has a great ring intellect, and he's someone that we're excited to see. I ran into Tim's trainer, Joel Diaz, who's one of the more underrated trainers in the sport. He told me that this camp has been better than any other camp that they've ever had, and that we're going to see things on Saturday night that are going to defy expectations, and I can't wait to see that transpire in the ring at the Home Depot. For Ruslan, he's trained by Freddie Roach. He also brought in someone in this camp that I wasn't aware of, who was George St. Pierre's strength coach. So he's taken this fight as seriously as any fight that he's ever taken in his career. And you know, I know from having talked to a lot of my friends who were shooting 24/7 during the Pacquiao-Marquez fight, and they said, "Do you know this guy, Ruslan Provodnikov?" And I said, "Yeah, that kid, he can fight." And they said, "Yeah, he can. He's giving Pacquiao fits." So, you know, we can see on Saturday night if Ruslan can change your perception that it was him giving Pacquiao the sparring or if it was Pacquiao giving him. On the undercard, we're excited to see two strong, undefeated fighters at 147 pounds. Great welterweight matchup. Someone's always going to go. And for those of you who are going to be there on Saturday night, you know, I was just up yesterday in Northern California and had the generous invitation by Top Rank and Cameron to go see Nonito Donaire train, who's in an upcoming fight on April 13th on our network against Guillermo Rigondeaux. And watching him spar, there's a kid there sparring with him named Victor Pasillas. And he's a great up-and-coming kid. He's someone that I'm excited to see. He's going to be fighting on the card on that night. We're also going to have Diego Magdaleno, Jesse Magdaleno, who I'm a big fan of as well, his brother, fighting for a world title in Macau, coming up on April 6th, which you'll be able to see on HBO 2. Oscar Valdez, another up-and-coming prospect we're real excited to see. For those of you who are going to be DVRing it, it's going to start at 10:15 ET-PT. And it's going to include as well, Todd mentioned some of the other programs that we do in addition to 24/7, like 2 days. We're also going to have a show called The Road to Rios Alvarado, which is going to profile that narrative as we go up to that fight on March 30th, which for everyone who saw that fight last year was one of the fights of the year. It's one of our proudest moments of programming last year, and we can't wait to showcase that in the behind-the-scenes way and that arc as we go into the fight on that night. We look forward to seeing you. Thank you to both fighters and all the camps, and we look forward to seeing you Saturday night. Thank you.
That was very well said. I actually learned something. He had more information on the undercard than I did. Lee, you left out all the guys on the undercard, and he had it all. Anyway, in addition to HBO's support, and as Peter talked about, all the assets that they throw in and everybody throws in, I mean, AEG is an incredible partner. They've been wonderful to work with. Obviously, we've really liked this the Home Depot Center in Carson. We've had incredible success there. We think it's a great place for the fans to go out there and see great fights. The environment is small, it's quaint, it can get rockin', it can get everything. So AEG is terrific. And also Tecate. Tecate is our sponsor and has been part of the boxing brand for almost 10 years now and has seen incredible support. They're going to be offering giveaways and for some fan engagement. And also, I'm actually going to read this because they're going to have, the brand is making a Taxi Magic available to consumers in Spanish. This is a free national GPS-enabled service that allows consumers to book local cab to ensure safe return home. There'll be a free app that's going to be coming out. So responsible drinking, but drink a lot and pay as much as you can because they need to keep staying in boxing. And I think that you know, they have really helped the sport. They've helped it obviously in the Hispanic communities, but abroad. And a lot of people have talked about the Tecate putting their arms around boxing and what they've been able to do. And we've discussed how it probably is worth a Harvard case study. It's been so successful. Also on the undercard, in a featured bout is a highly touted amateur that us at Top Rank were incredibly excited about signing. He is a two-time Mexican Olympian. He's managed by Frank Espinoza. He has got charisma, he's got it all. And I'd really like to, at this point, introduce Oscar Valdez and Frank Espinoza.
Good afternoon to everyone. First of all, I want to thank my manager, Frank Espinoza, and Top Rank for giving me the opportunity to fight such a great card like this one. You know, I'm really excited. I can't wait right now to go in the ring and give my best. You know, I've been waiting for this. I've been training real hard for this for almost 2 months already. So, you know, I'm gonna go in the ring and do good things. I've been trying new things already. You know, things I didn't do in the amateurs. Now I got a strength and conditioning coach, Luis Garcia, and a new trainer, Clemente Medina. So, you know, in the boxing world, you never stop learning. So I'm learning new things, learning how to adapt to this pro style, and it's really working out. So right now I'm just really excited to go in the ring and prove everyone what type of boxer I am. quiero agradecer a toda la gente que está aquí. Nomás quiero avisarles a todos que estoy muy emocionado por esta oportunidad, muy agradecido con mi manejador Frank Espinosa, el equipo, Top Rank, mi papá, el equipo que tengo, estamos excelentes ahorita. Me he estado preparando por esta pelea durante casi 2 meses, así que puedo estar listo para esta pelea. He hecho cosas nuevas que antes no hacía como los amateurs. Ahora tengo preparador físico, nuevo entrenador que es Clemente Medina, y estamos haciendo cosas buenas, ¿no? En el boxeo profesional nunca se deja aprender, así que estoy aprendiendo buenas cosas, estoy adaptando, los entrenamientos están excelentes, así que los resultados se van a ver este sábado. Estoy bien listo y esperemos una buena pelea. Muchas gracias.
Thank you everyone for being here. I especially want to thank Top Rank for putting on this great promotion. Not only does Oscar Valdez have God-given talent to be a world champion, he has attitude, desire, and dedication that will make him a star. On March 16th at the Home Depot Center, Oscar will demonstrate what the buzz is all about. If you want to see a star in the making, don't miss Oscar Valdez. Watch him once, and I guarantee you, you'll be a fan for life. Thank you.
I forgot that Frank has that speechwriter that he hires. Anyway, just so you know, as we always do at Top Rank, especially when we have guys like Pasillas and Magdaleno and Valdez, we will stream the entire undercard. So it will be available. It'll be available on toprank.com, and that'll take you right up to the time of the bout, of which we will have the first televised bout, which is a real big welterweight match between Wally Amatosa and Jesse Vargas. You know, this is a real crossroads fight for them. They're both terrifically talented. They're young. They're both undefeated. They've been in a lot of big battles, but this is the time somebody's going to make a name for themselves. And obviously, both of them are licking their chops because they see the welterweight king fighting in the main event. So this is the time to make a name and try to establish themselves who's going to come out of the fight. Working with Amatosa is his trainer, Eric Brown, and additionally, Steve Fader. So I'd like to introduce both Wally Amatosa, Steve Fader, and Eric Brown.
Wow. Thanks everyone to be here, and I thank Almighty God for bringing everyone here safely. And I'm gonna start slowly. You know, I'm from Africa to Australia to American. Too many accents, you know. Sometimes I don't know which one I'm using or which one I need to use. But bear with me, I will say it slowly. All right, I would say, first of all, I thank my promoter, Top Rank, for giving me this opportunity, and I thank HBO for putting me on their network. You know, I call myself a lucky boy. There's a many reasons why I call myself a lucky boy. You know, I'm just a boy from the hood, from the street. You know, getting out of the hood with boxing. Boxing saved my life. If not boxing, I won't be here today. If I'm still in my country, maybe I could have been a dead boy. You feel me? Because that's the way we run. We always in the street. That's how we survive. But boxing saved my life, and I really thank God to be here, to be a fighter. Yeah, and I would say I thank Jesse Vargas and the team for taking the fight. You know, we both putting our undefeated on the line, and this is what we want to show the world. We want to show everybody, the world, what we can do. I know it's going to be a war, because he doesn't want to lose. I don't want to lose. You feel me? It's going to be there. It's going to come on Friday, on Saturday, to bring a good performance. And I'm ready. I have answer for anything they bring on the table. You know, I'm not going to go there, let him punch me like a bag. No, that shit is not happening, for real. So, on Saturday, it's going to be a great night. and I'm so excited. I've never ever been excited before. When I see a fight, I smile because I love to fight. That's what I do for a living. That's what I do. And we're here to show all the world a great fight. I'm excited. I can't wait. And I thank every one of you again. Thank my family. They're not here today. They're home. But I love them and I love everyone. Peace.
Boy, I have to follow that one. Okay. We use Frank Espinosa as speechwriter for that, so I want to thank him. I just want to keep this short and sweet. You know, every fighter along the way has a defining fight. Sometimes it's a world title shot, sometimes it's a 4-round fight. This is definitely the defining fight for both these guys. And I've been a fan of Jesse's. He's a great kid. I've actually had some fighters where we share the same dressing room along the way. We've been asking for this fight for a long time. We've kind of been watching each other. The fact that both these fighters are undefeated makes this fight sweet for everybody. It's great for the network. All we can ask of our fighter is to do his job in the ring, work hard in the gym. That's what he's done. Eric Brown's done an amazing job with him, transformed his career in a lot of ways. You know, we've had to really reset the whole thing with him when he first came to the United States. So it comes down to this, is that we asked the promoter to give this kid an opportunity. And along with HBO, they've done that. The rest is up to him. I can just say one thing. There's certain fighters that you would have to kill before they quit. And this is what Wally Omotosho is all about. He called himself Lucky Boy, but it really isn't about luck, it's about hard work. So we really greatly thank everybody, both the Vargas team, HBO, and Top Rank for this opportunity. All the guys at Top Rank have been really supportive all the way. And it's going to come down to Saturday night. And whatever happens, I think Wally will not look for any excuses. He is going to go and give it full heart. And I'm real proud of him. I'm proud of him that the struggle he's gone through from the time he left Lagos to going to Australia to coming to America. It's a big change, a huge culture shock. I give this kid a lot of credit. And it's time now for, you know, all the buzz and all the writing and all the stuff and records and everything else. It comes down to what happens in that ring Saturday night. And we're going to tend to put on a good show. That's it. Thanks a lot for everybody.
Okay, how you doing? I'm going to try to keep it real short. Okay, all these guys on this show Saturday night are going to give their best. I think you guys are going to be highly entertained. There's not a slouch in the crowd. So just sit back and enjoy the show and expect the best out of all of them. Okay, all of them are working hard. I know Jesse is, I know Timothy is, I know Ruslan is, I know Wally is. So it's going to be a great show. Enjoy yourselves. Thank you.
Obviously, the Omotosho camp is very committed and determined to prove themselves in the fight, but in front of them is a very tough and formidable opponent in the welterweight division, is Jesse Vargas. Jesse's a Las Vegas kid. We've watched him for a while. We were recently able to join forces with him. His manager, Cameron Duncan, felt that we were the right fit for him, and we're very excited about where his career has gone. You know, when I see this name on the, you know, I see his name, and then I look a little below there, and I see Robert Alcazar, and I say, you know, I remember I got into the business in 1993, and Robert was just starting with Oscar, and it was like, you know, it takes you back like 20 years. Where the hell have we been, right? And Robert, you know, I feel like he's family. You know, we've done so much together, the Top Rank organization, with Robert and his fighters and everything, and it's really a pleasure to see him with a super welterweight contender get a chance and really show his mettle in this bout. So I'd like to introduce both Jesse Vargas and Robert Alcazar.
Thank you, Dad. Everything sounds good so far, right? It's nice to have the opportunity to be here, to have the chance to say hello to a lot of old friends. Well, here we go again. I'd like to thank Top Rank, Mr. Bob Adam, Toddy Buff, Cameron Duncan, and everybody at Top Rank for this opportunity. I'd like to thank Team Vargas for all the hard work they put into this camp. We got a great camp. Jesse Vargas is ready. And all what's going to happen with this kind of fights for Jesse Vargas is going to move him up closer to a title fight in the around future. So don't miss this fight, because this fight is going to be a great fight and hopefully the best fight of the night. Gracias a todos ustedes por estar aquí. Es bonito tener la oportunidad de saludar a viejos amigos. Esta pelea va a ser una buena pelea porque Jesse Vargas está muy bien preparado. Tuvimos un buen campo. Y no se pierda esta pelea. Que peleas como estas solamente va a ser que Jesse Vargas se acerque un paso más a pelear por un campeonato mundial en el futuro. Muchísimas gracias.
Good afternoon. Thank you all for coming out today. First of all, I want to thank everyone for coming. I want to thank my promoter, Top Rank, my manager, Cameron Duncan, my trainer, Robert Alcazar, my team, Team Vargas, my father. We've had a great training camp. You know, we've been preparing for March 16th since December. You know, the reason I say is because after my last fight, I didn't stop training. You know, things were done differently for this camp. You know, they were taken to another level because I know that this fight is very important for me. It's another opportunity on HBO, which I want to thank HBO for the opportunity, and I won't let you down, that's for sure. You know, our opponent is Wally Omotoso. He's a good fighter. He's undefeated. We're both undefeated, so we both don't want to lose. But someone has to come out with a loss on the record. But I don't plan that being me. So we're prepared to the fullest. We're ready for this fight. I want to thank Robert again. You know, he's become part of my family. He's a good friend of mine, and you know, I want to thank him for putting in the work, teaching me the Robert Alcazar style that I admire. And you know, I just can't wait for Saturday night. I'm ready, 100%, ready to throw blows from the beginning of the bell to the last round. You know, I've been on the stage before, and I just can't wait for Saturday night to perform. It's going to be a great matchup. Muchas gracias a todos por venir el día de hoy. Buenas tardes. Quiero agradecerle a Top Rank, a mi manejador Cameron Duncan, a HBO por la oportunidad. Venimos listos para esta pelea, venimos con todo. Tuvimos un campamento muy bueno, cerca de excelente. Nos sentimos muy fuertes, rápidos. El peso lo tenemos bien controlado con tiempo. Estamos listos, no hay nada más que decir. Wally Omotoso es un buen peleador, es invicto. Vamos a tener 2 invictos este sábado, que siempre que tiene 2 invictos, tienen los 2, no quieren perder. Yo no quiero perder y no tengo planeado perder. Va a ser una gran pelea, desde la primera campana hasta la última. Vamos a dar un espectáculo y ojalá les guste la pelea. Muchas gracias por su apoyo. Thank you.
In the main event between Tim Bradley and Ruslan Provodnikov, you're really dealing with a contrast of style. As you guys know, I don't read all the articles and watch everything, but I happened to see Teddy Atlas rave about Ruslan Provodnikov. And he's a real critic of things. And I happened to see it on ESPN. And he exactly exemplified what boxing is about. You know, Tim Bradley is pound for pound one of the elite fighters in the world. He is as skilled as anybody, has the charisma, has taken out everybody in the division that he's been in. And here is the contrasting style, as Teddy said. He's a bull. He's going to come at you. Well, he's going to come at you in the ring. We know that. But when this fight was possibly being made, Art Palulu was the bull. He was coming at us. Please, Carl, can you get me the fight? Can you get me the fight? We want this fight. My guy wants it. And Artie was persistent in developing Ruslan and keeping him on ESPN and keeping him out there and putting him in tough matches and developing him so that he got this opportunity. So I'd like to introduce at this time the head of Banner Promotions and a gentleman who last night said, I ran into him in a restaurant, "You're a good boy," Artie Palulu.
He is a good boy. I'm like 20 years older. Everybody said everything about this fight. This is one of the great fighters in the world today. He's the welterweight king. We know how great he is. Nice family. I know his manager. I know all of his people. This young fellow knows how very important this fight is to his career. He knows exactly what he's up against. He believes he wins the fight. Naturally, he believes he wins the fight. It's a career move for Ruslan, and it's a career move for him where he stays where he's at and he's getting other fights. And that's what it's at. He wants to be where he's at, and he doesn't want him to get there. And if it wasn't for, and this I have to say to you, and Todd touched on it, if it wasn't for John Skipper at ESPN and Doug Locree, who are the people that run the Friday night fights, giving these kids an opportunity to develop their craft, and giving all kinds of kids, like Juan Carlos Burgos, who's another fighter that I have, who fought on HBO against Martinez at Madison Square Garden. He won the fight, but he got a draw, but he was built on ESPN. Another fighter that we're working with also is Demetrius Andre, the Olympian, who was built on ESPN. So that network has put a lot of kids like him in a position to fight a lot of gentlemen like him. And that's a great thing, because that's the feeder for our sport. So what I think of the fight is it's going to be a great fight. They're both in their prime, they're both young, they both know exactly what it's all about and what it means to both of them. And Todd's right, I was on the phone all the time with Carl. I know he's got caller ID, so he avoided me sometimes because I was driving him crazy. And I called Aaron, and I know Bob for 25 years, and I'm all over him with the fight. And I think what also helped us get the fight is that when he was sparring with Manny Pacquiao, and Bob was in the gym, and Todd was there, and they said, this kid can really fight. So all of the things happen in life, and timing is everything. My mother always taught me timing is everything. The other guy, Gamboa, he don't take the fight, he prices himself out. We're not in a position to have an opportunity to fight the 147-pound king. So you never know how life works out. That's where we're at. I would like to introduce you to Ruslan. I'm very happy for all of us to be here, and Bob and Todd and Carl are great people to work with, even though they think I'm a little crazy, and you are a nice boy. So Ruslan, would you come on up and say hello? And this is his manager, Vadim, and Andre is his other manager, and this is somebody we're very proud of, and we're very proud to be with him, Ruslan Provodnikov.
Поприветствовать всех, кто сегодня собрался, и попросить прощения за опоздание. Сдавал анализы для допинга, поэтому все честно.
I want to say hello to everybody, and I want to say I'm sorry I was a little late. I was doing a lot of testing, and that was the only reason I was late. I'm sorry about that.
Не буду много говорить, так как за время подготовки уже было очень много сказано.
I don't want to say too much during the training for this fight. A lot has been said already.
Хочу просто поблагодарить тех людей, которые мне помогали во время подготовки. Таких людей очень много.
I just want to thank everybody who's helped me in this training. There's a lot of people that I want to thank. I can't list all of them, but I'm very thankful to them.
Я каждое воскресенье ходил в церковь и ставил свечки за них, чтобы у них все было хорошо.
Every Sunday when I went to church, I put a candle up for these people that helped me because it's an important part of my training.
Также я ставил свечки за Брэдли, чтобы его подготовка прошла без травм и чтобы мы подошли к бою здоровые.
And I also put a candle up for my opponent and for myself to make sure that we have a great fight and that we don't have any injuries and that we're healthy and well.
Встретимся 16 марта. Да благословит меня Бог.
I'll see everybody March 16th. Thank you to everybody, and God be with me.
in Tim Bradley, I said this at the opening press conference. I remember we were at a fight, and it was in Las Vegas, and I get introduced to Tim, and I see this kid just smiling from ear to ear, and it was about 2 years ago. A sparkle in his eye, big grin, and he's like, I want the big time. I want it. Hungry, jovial, excited, and really refreshing. And this is after, establishing himself as an incredible athlete and incredible in the sport. Taking care of Devin Alexander, taking care of Lamont Peterson, taking care of Kendall Holt, taking care of Bregu. He did it all. And that charisma and that got him the opportunity for big fights. He had his big match with Manny Pacquiao. He then goes out and says, he would come off some injuries, and then was saying, let's get back in the ring. He is such an accomplished fighter. He's got all the skill sets. His trainer, Joel Diaz, has really conditioned him well. But the team that's around him has been really, really helpful. They've been helpful in guiding his career. His manager, Cameron Duncan, his father, Ray Bradley, and obviously his wife, Monica, have been terrific cornerstones. When Tim and I met back in December, he said to me, went to Palm Springs and took me to the vegan restaurant. And I will listen, the only fighter ever to buy me a meal. Like, honestly, he's like, I'm paying for it. He's like, I'm paying for your meal. I said, no one's ever done that before. He goes, no, I'm paying for it. Wouldn't let me buy anything. And he just said to me with that big smile, he goes, I'm healthy, I feel great physically, mentally I'm there, and I want to fight everybody, and I want to fight all the time. And this is the beginning of that chapter for the pound for pound and welterweight king, Tim Bradley. So this time I'd like to introduce the architect of him in the gym, Joel Diaz.
Good afternoon, everybody. We're back. I want to thank Top Rank for bringing us back again. HBO, we're back in the network. Well, everything has been said already since they announced the fight. Interviews, we said it all. Now we're here to show what we work for. Tim Bradley prepares himself real well for every fight. He makes my job very easy. I thank him and his father, his family, for believing in me from day one that I started working with him. I want to thank Ruslan for coming into the picture when we didn't have an opponent. He stepped in and said, I'll fight Tim Bradley. He is a very strong fighter. I have seen Ruslan fight a few times. He's very tough. He can hit, and he has no reverse, man. He comes forward. We prepare for every fight real well. And I know that Saturday night is going to be a great fight. Tim Bradley is going to put in his work. Ruslan is going to put in his work. And it's going to be a great night for boxing. You guys are going to see a different Tim Bradley Saturday night. I guarantee you guys. Buenas tardes a todos. Regresamos de nuevo a la actividad del boxeo. Estamos aquí bien preparados. Timothy viene con una mentalidad bien puesta. Gracias a Top Rank, gracias a HBO por darnos la oportunidad de nuevo. Ya todas las palabras las dijimos desde que se comenzó la preparación para la pelea. Y ahorita nomás estamos listos para el 16, el sábado. Gracias le damos al equipo de Ruslan por ponerse de frente para pelear con Bradley. Y pues más que todo, les damos gracias y esperen una buena pelea.
Thank you all. And obviously, the fighter has to deliver. And Tim's hunger and his desire to get back in the ring and to fight anybody. He just wants to get in there. And he said in that December day, he says, I want to be in the ring, and I don't care who it is in front of me, because I want to take on all comers. He's established himself as a really terrific person and great fighter. So I'd like to introduce, in his first defense as the welterweight champ, Tim Bradley.
All right, thank you. First and foremost, I want to thank my Lord and Father for allowing me to be here once again on a big scene, big stage. I want to thank my lovely wife for putting up with me through this whole training camp, helping me along the way. My team, Bradley, you know, Joel Diaz is amazing. Coach Ruslan, my whole staff, man, is amazing. I want to thank Cameron Duncan, best manager in the game, for, you know, always believing in me. I want to thank Team Ruslan Provodnikov for taking this challenge. I want to thank HBO once again for bringing me back, and you know, Top Rank, of course. Thank you very much for believing in me and saying all those nice things about me, because there's not always somebody, not all the time people say nice things about me, but when they do, I really sure do appreciate it. Ruslan Provodnikov is a tough opponent. A lot of you are saying he's tough, but he's not well known. It's a tough challenge. All right, it's a tough challenge I'm facing Saturday night. I've trained like no other. This has been one of my best camps. This camp was actually better than the Pacquiao camp. I feel strong. I feel fast. I feel like I'm ready to take on anybody. I feel like I'm in my prime. I matured from the Pacquiao fight a great deal. I feel ready, hungry, determined to showcase my talent this upcoming Saturday. What up, Bob? How you doing, man? What's up, man? I haven't seen Bob in a while. It's good to see Bob. He's out. Yeah, where you been at, Bob? Been busy?